This video, I will be doing a devil's advocate position on casual sex and discuss some views on the negative consequences to our society and to us as individuals by using people as sexual objects rather than having relationships built on intimacy, emotional intimacy and connection and marriage. First of all, let me say that I started in the casual sex experiment after my divorce because in my marriage, my sexual part of my marriage was a complete, utter disappointment the entire time I was married, and I wanted to experience good sex. And I didn't meet anyone for a relationship. So I kind of went down this rabbit hole of casual sex for many years, and I discovered that men would just have sex with me, ghost me, and leave me. And I was trying to figure out and how to navigate this world of dating apps, casual sex, and people who would just be like, I'm going to say losers about it. So instead of being wrong, let's just look at some of the ways that maybe dating apps are contributing to this trend and what this is really all about. So first of all, I would like to let you know about, I do watch the YouTube channel where they Heather Hing and Bret Weinstein, the Dark Horse podcast. I watch a lot of their stuff. This is their new book that just came out. I just got it a week ago. I had pre-ordered it on Amazon. It's finally here. I have not yet started to read it. They make the case that when birth control came around, I will link all these videos in the show notes. When birth control came around, it allowed women to have some reproductive freedom in their marriages. It wasn't intended for us to just start like having sex with all these people and kind of become, in a way, humanly degenerate, if we may say. They make a case that polygamy is not helpful for families, for children, or for anyone. So you might just want to check out their short little YouTube video that's I'm going to link in the show notes. The second, I'm going to have you watch from minute 30 to minute 50 of a show that Jordan Peterson did with this gentleman who was talking about research that he has done on Tinder and other dating apps, where he found that research has shown that women go for 4% of the men on Tinder, and men go for 60% of the women. The fact that the dating apps are seeding with fake profiles, so as soon as a man comes on, he gets like this gorgeous woman robot who interacts with him a couple messages and disappears. So he gets that hit and he keeps going on hoping for that more of that woman. Only 4% of men are hit on by other women. It's called hypergamy. We like men who are a little bit higher than us in looks and success. And so it's not really fair to the rest of men, and it makes those men who are maybe normal men, it kind of makes them a little bit psychopathic because they can easily just use women for sex and discard them, ghost them. And I want to say, after watching all this, that ghosting is something that is sleazy, it's cowardly, and it makes a man act like he's a piece of shit. There's nothing that's okay about this, and the way that these dating apps have made people treat each other so casually. If I were married now, I would get rid of all my freaking social media. I think it's the worst thing for a relationship. It makes it also easier for people to cheat, to keep thinking someone else better is out there, and to just treat people as so disposable. So, and there's also the case to be made that women who are more educated have more options. They found in the research that educated women have more options. They're more likely to consider themselves polyamorous and maybe play around in that area, whereas uneducated, poorer women, they usually don't have as many options, especially if they already have children. They're less likely to be picked by men, and they're more likely to have men who become predators to their children. Again, you know, this video is a devil's advocate to the whole hookup thing. Just because we have birth control does that mean we should be fucking around? Does birth control give us a license to just fuck around and be like cads, like the most lowest of men? Or is birth control really just an opportunity for us to regulate fertility in our long-term relationships? Like maybe we need to start valuing long-term relationships again, rather than just this whole hookup culture just because it's easy and it's easy to discard people. You know, I coach people, and I'll tell you, one thing people struggle with is their emotional vulnerability. You know, it's easy to just go around fucking people. It's easy to just go around and get drunk and tune out your problems, but to be emotionally vulnerable and connect and be in relationships, you know, what about that? Does anybody even want that anymore? As to me, myself, the reason I'm single, just to share with you, I have not met anyone I want to be in a relationship with. That's what it is. And so, you know, and maybe a lot of other people feel the same way. Maybe we're just not enough in those situations where we meet people that we get into a relationship with. Anyway, I'd love to get your thoughts on this whole thing of hookup culture and monogamy and what is really best for society and what is best for families. One more thing is that these guys, these top 4% of guys that get all the babes, that's not doing them any favors. And then what does that do to all the men who are not getting anyone? You end up having like a whole cast of men who don't have a woman. And then what do they do when they don't have women? Look at the Middle East. When they don't have jobs and they don't have women, they are up to no good. They start wars and they start fighting. Anyway, leave your comments and let me know what you think about hookup culture, monogamy, and relationships.